When I was a boy, we did not have action figures, and we certainly didn't have to build them. Is this early Marvel Legends figure from 2019 still the best Kingpin figure in the market right now? Or am I being just paid to say that by Wilson Fisk? Maybe, but we'll find out. What's up, nerds, and welcome to another episode of AyAyRonM Collects. Today we're going to be taking a look at a pretty cool flashback piece. We are taking a look at the Marvel Legends Build-A-Figure Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. Now, I've been meaning to get my hands on this figure for a while, and now that I finally have all the pieces of Exodia, I can now summon the Fat Man himself. As you can see here, we have 5 figures. Well, 6 figures, actually. Sorry. We have 6 figures. We do not have the Spider-Man figure with the 6 arms because, first off, it didn't have a Build-A-Figure piece, and second, I didn't feel like picking up another Spider-Man at the moment. And they're probably just going to re-release, the 6-arm Spider-Man later down the line again anyway. We just got the Dark Avengers 6-arm Spider-Man in the Executioner wave, which I'm going to be taking a look very soon, so keep an eye out on that. So yeah, I didn't feel like we needed that for this specific video. Anyways, so this wave consists of Black Cat, Puma, Symbiote Spider-Man, Night Thrasher, Silver Sable, and the Red Goblin. Alright, let's start with Black Cat. Right off the box, she's a pretty decent looking figure, even though she's in an older Marvel Legends body. She is a little floppy though. I know that in the comics that these eyes go over her shoulder a little bit more, but I get why they just limited it to the chest here. I do wish that they kept the fur in the traditional white, but these are overlays, so we can probably remove them and paint them white later on if you wanted to. She also has this belt that acts as her tail, and it's basically her whip accessory whenever she's not using it. Posing her is kind of hard. She's very stiff. You can't really get her into any of the crazy poses that she could pull off in the comics. Let's take a look at the face sculpt here. The face sculpt's not bad, but the paint... her face is very derpy on mine. Her eyes look very far apart. Yikes. Next, we have Puma. Now, I know next to nothing about this character. In fact, I know absolutely nothing about this character. The genetically engineered Thomas Fireheart. Oh, he's Native American, isn't he? Yep. Can transform himself into a half-mountain lion, half-human known as Puma. So why does he have a letter E on his belt? I really judged the book by its cover with this one. I thought that I wasn't going to like this because, well, first off, he didn't come with any accessories unless you count his necklace here an accessory. You can take it off. But I'm actually surprised, I'm actually having a lot of fun posing him, fiddling around with him, and he's so easy to pose. Look at that. That was so easy, and he looks so cool. I love it when, they give me a monster figure that I can pose in like a very animalistic way. For a very simple figure, he has a lot of character, which is why this figure really works. Third figure on the list, we have the Black Suit Spider-Man, or Symbiote Spider-Man as the box calls him. This is the very first time I've ever seen this design for the black suit. It looks very stylized. His eyes are popping out of his head like the anime glasses, right? You know what I mean? Like, you ever watch Gurren Lagann?
Who the hell do you think I am?
Anyways, but yeah, this probably has the most articulation out of the entire wave. One thing to note, he does have the gummy legs. I love posing this figure. It's just very fun. The take on the black suit here feels animalistic. If you take a look at his feet, they're like, it has toes. It's not your typical shoes that you see with the black suit. He has like sharp claws on this one. So this makes me think that this is the symbiote in control. And that's what I'm getting from this figure. He's got these beautiful butterflies, bro. Like, you could put them all the way back. You could JoJo pose this guy. Next up on the wave is Night Thrasher. Now this one is a personal favorite of mine, just because he's one of those obscure characters that no one really knows. He's street level too. He's part of the New Warriors, but again, no one really knows Night Thrasher. Nobody really knows the New Warriors either, so... I will say though, I was kind of hoping we'd see him in Daredevil Born Again. If the whole premise of the show is Wilson Fisk is tired of all these costumed vigilantes running around, then show us costumed vigilantes running around. I kind of wish that we got more street level heroes in Daredevil Born Again. Hopefully season 2 they'll fix that, you know. So yeah, anyways, this is Night Thrasher. I will say he has a very simple design, all black with accents of red. I kind of wish that they added more red though, like more red on the shoulder pads here, somewhere around like on the gloves or wrist guards or something. But I get it, they're going for the more first appearance look. His legs have a matte finish, and his chest and armor pieces here, like on the arms and the legs, they're more glossy. So that's a nice touch. Articulation wise, he's got a good crunch. He's got this nice ab crunch that gets him very low. So if you wanted to pose him with his skateboard, right, you could... Oh. Yeah, I hate this thing. This skateboard sucks. It's too small. It's not the right scale. A tech deck might be the right scale, so if you have one of those lying around, definitely put them on there. It's a basic skateboard. It's just all black. I mean, you have some scuffs over here underneath, so it looks like he's been grinding on like rails, but it would have been cool if it had some sort of artwork on there. I don't know. Get yourself a free tech deck with a Marvel Legends. Make it work, Hasbro. In terms of accessories, I think Night Thrasher has the most in this wave. He comes with his billy clubs that you could put together into a staff. This looks like reuse. I mean, it's the same billy club that they use for every person that has a billy club. He also comes with this backpack thing that you could clip both the billy clubs on and attach the skateboard on. One thing though, I don't know if anyone can tell me in the comments below, what are these holes for? I don't know what this is, and I thought I was missing something, but nothing else connects to that. I don't know what that is. Overall, I think he might be my favorite out of this entire wave. He's not as articulated as the Spider-Man, but I can get him into some really cool poses. Silver Sable. I like my assassin ladies, you know. She's got a gorgeous face for an old Marvel Legends figure, unlike some figures that we know. Yeah. Right out the box, she's pretty decent. She has the standard joints that you'd see in the old female bodies. She has no bicep swivel. She's got this shoulder joint that goes up that far, single jointed elbows. She's got double jointed knees with pins, and she has a ball joint of the diaphragm up here. She comes in this very shiny silver suit. Silver, but not like chrome silver. It's contrasted by these cool gray white. So Silver Sable is on this old female body, but you can still get her to do some crazy poses. I still do believe that she deserves a reissue or an update of some sort, because if you put this on the articulated body that the Black Widow figures come in, you'd have a perfect Silver Sable. The final figure in the set, Red Goblin. Alright, I'm gonna be very honest. I don't care about this figure.
What?
I really don't. I don't care that he has a pretty good sculpt or good paint apps, and that you could get him to do some pretty decent looking poses. But this tail pisses me off. It does. I mean, it gets in the way. It's just this weird rubbery plastic that doesn't bend or articulate in any way. It just gets in the way. It's just there. It's just hard plastic. It bothers me, man.
But you can't do this to me.
You know how much I sacrificed?
Sometimes you get characters that you want. Sometimes you get the characters that you don't really care about. But you gotta get them because you want to build a figure. It sucks. But it is what it is.
Avenge me.
Avenge me! No!
Now that we have all the pieces in play, it's time to build the bad boy, shall we? And there he is, the big man himself, Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin.
Is you. Nobody believed me, but I knew the famous Kingpin was really my boy Willie.
Wrong. As far as the world must know, Willie ceased to exist when you left him in prison.
He has such a great presence, man. The all-white suit and the size of this guy really shines through on the display. One thing though, I would recommend not to lie him down. If you're gonna put him somewhere, make sure he's standing up, and that's because the white gets really dirty really quick, especially the blazer. He has a black shirt, black shoes. He has this purple tie that they gave him that has this velvety look to it, and it matches the purple handkerchief on his side pocket. On his left hand here, his fist, he has a ring, and it has this nice little touch of red. To top it off, they even gave him some gold on his buttons here for his vest, which is a really nice touch. He has two head sculpts. He has this like normal, very quiet, reserved face. And then he has this very expressive, angry face. And you can see the veins on his head here, which is pretty neat. He is a kingpin of crime, so he's gonna want to show off a little. So he has this cane, and at the very top, the handle, he has this very large jewel. And he can hold it in one of two ways. You could just grip it like a bat, or you could rest it underneath his palm. It doesn't clip on or anything, but if you just put enough pressure there, not too much where it bends or breaks the cane, but you just sort of let the palm sit at the top and it'll just hold the cane in place, which is really neat. I've heard people having problems with the proportions on this guy. They think that the hands and the head are too small on this body, but I don't mind it. I mean, you know, whenever I think of Kingpin, I always think of him as a big body first, you know, right? That's the first thing you notice is that his huge size, right? And then he has a small head.
It's a hell of a freaking light show. You're gonna love this.
His articulation is very limited. And honestly, it's not so bad. And the reason why I'm saying that is because Kingpin isn't really the type of character to get his hands dirty, right? He'd rather have other people do the work for him. So if you're going to display Kingpin, you're going to want to put him along with like a bunch of goons or like associates that he could order around. But yeah, no, I get it. When it comes down to it, he'll throw hands. And when he does, prepare to get a bruise or two. Not even. Prepare to go to the hospital. You're going to get your bones broken, bro. Or die. So yeah, his articulation is not so good. I mean, he can raise his shoulders this high up. He has single joints on his elbows here, and they could sort of do 90. He has this diaphragm ball joint up top, so that's pretty neat. He doesn't have any waist swivels though, which kind of sucks. His legs do go up that far, and he has single joints on his legs as well, and they bend that much. So you don't really get any dramatic poses with this guy. One thing to note, for some reason on my figure, this leg right here is too tight. I tried heating it up, and it's still a bit tight, so just wanted to point that out. Despite the limited posing, you can actually find some really cool poses that you could do with him. Sure, most of them are going to be standing or him yelling, but I managed to get him into some interesting quote-unquote dynamic poses.
You think you've won? I will tell everybody that Matt Murdock is Daredevil.
Dude, who's Matt Murdock?
Oh shit.
So, we know that he's part of a Build-A-Figure wave. We know that it takes about 6 figures to build this guy. But what if I told you that there's a 7th figure in this Build-A-Figure wave that isn't the Spider-Man variant? Now, if you got yourself the Professor X Deluxe figure from Hasbro Marvel Legends with the hover chair, you actually get an extra accessory that is the Shadow King head. Well, if you have the Kingpin Build-A-Figure, you could just take this head and switch it out onto this body, and now you have a Shadow King figure, which is pretty cool. So Professor X is technically part of this Build-A-Figure wave, and he's giving you a Shadow King variant instead of a Kingpin variant. Now, having this Shadow King head means that I really need a Kingpin body to put it on so that I could have a Shadow King figure. But I am not gonna spend how much money on another Build-A-Figure wave just for Shadow King, which is why I got this. Surprise! We are also going to be taking a look at this retro Spider-Man Kingpin.
My wallet is killing me.
Right out the box, they're using the same mold. As you can tell by the face, the mold, the style of the suits. However, Retro Kingpin is made to look more like his comic book counterpart or like his animated counterpart, which has the more gaudy colors on his suit, right? He has this orange vest, the purple pants. He has this red handkerchief right here. He has this blue ascot. So Retro Kingpin is actually a little bit taller than the BAF Kingpin for some reason. I don't know why, it just is. His accessories are the same. He comes with an alternate head and his cane. The cane is pretty much the same. The colors are just different. The one that came with the Build-A-Figure wave is black, while the retro is brown. The biggest change with the alternate head, specifically the angry head, is that they gave him cuts and bruises, which really gives the figure an extra punch. Pun intended. Now, I pretty much got the Retro Kingpin for Shadow King, because I prefer the BAF body to be my Kingpin in my collection. The all-white suit and the black shirt may remind me of Vincent D'Onofrio's phenomenal performance as the character, but it's also really great visual storytelling that you get with a really good character design. The all-white suit is Wilson Fisk portraying himself as this symbol of purity, while the black shirt is an underlying darkness within him, right? That he's actually a criminal mastermind, that he is the kingpin of crime. To elevate that, I decided to switch out the blazers between the BAF and the Retro. The BAF originally has a purple handkerchief, whereas the Retro has a red one. The purple handkerchief would match perfectly with the purple pants, and the BAF will then get a splash of red on his suit, which implies either blood or a rose.
It's a shame you came here wounded. Would have loved to fight you in your prime.
And just like that, we have two very imposing figures added to our collection. Kingpin, to control and terrorize all of New York's criminal underground, and the Shadow King, to break the minds of the X-Men. All in all, I think that I'm really happy that I bought this Build-A-Figure wave. I always wanted to create a street-level display and, start making one aside from just Spider-Man. So I thought, you know what, let's start big. Let's start with a bad guy. Let's start with Kingpin, and then we'll add all the street-level heroes as we go along, right? Almost as if we've established a setting, and now we need the heroes to make some changes. The Shadow King figure is just a bonus, in my opinion. I think Kingpin, either the BAF or the Retro, is a great addition to your collection. I would say, though, if you really don't care about which Kingpin is on your display, I would say go for the Retro. Save yourself some money, because the BAF, it'll run you some dollars, let me tell you that. Or you can grab yourself the Gamerverse Kingpin and get yourself a pair of matching fists to beat your Daredevils and your Spider-Mans. Yeah, I'm probably gonna add that to my collection sometime this year.
Hello!
Hello?
Ongo Goblogian, the art collector. Charmed, I'm sure.
Yes.
I'm going to invite you to a show.
Okay.
But first, allow me to destroy your gallery.
Oh.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Derivative. That I love. I absolutely love.
That's just the air conditioner.
I want it. It's everything.
And that wraps up another episode of AyAyRonM Collects. Thank you guys for bearing with me. Today was a very long episode. Yeesh. But hey, thank you. You made it to the end. I applaud you for having to deal with my nonsense. So, which one do you guys prefer? Do you prefer the BAF Kingpin? Or do you prefer the Retro Kingpin? Or, if you have the Gamerverse Kingpin, is it better than both? Let me know in the comments below. And I will catch you nerds on the next video. Bye! Next time on AyAyRonM Collects. Mutants are out, and humans are in. Or are we Inhumans? That sounds negative, bro.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest. Why did you do this to me? Hop in the car. Get some cups. For what reason? What is the charge? Eating a meal? A succulent Chinese meal? Get your hand off my penis!